Alright, I'm gonna do another video on this, and if you do not know what you are looking at, this is the Martingale calculator. If you are using an EA that uses Martingale, well, most of the EAs out there, they use Martingale, you must have this calculator, because there's so much info that it will tell you, and it will definitely help to safeguard your account from blowing up due to unforeseen movements in whatever instrument, or on whatever instrument that you're trading on. Well, I've posted the link in the description box down below, so if you want to, not if you want to, you must have it. So to grab it, just click on the link and then just get it downloaded, and I'll just explain to you. I hope that this time it will be clearer how you can use this calculator to your benefit. Now, let's jump straight to it. Now, in the calculator, you will see that I have modified this column. The original one has only this. I've added DIS, which stands for distance, which you can see it over here. Now, in most of the Martingale EAs that you can find on the market, okay, there are three things, four things that are common that you will definitely find in them. The first one would be the Martingale multiplier. Okay, so that means from the first position that is being opened, what is the next size of position that Martingale will open for you. So it is based on this multiplier. Starting lot is pretty straightforward, and then you have the distance. Okay, after how many points the market has moved, only then the next position will be open, and then the max lot. Okay, so this is actually to this is a risk management strategy whereby you don't allow your EA to have a total free hand on opening crazy lot sizes which your account could not accommodate, or have it set at a very high max lot that your account could not open in order for it to recover or retrace in that manner. So these four parameters are very important, and most of the time we only play with three of it, but not with the max lot. But with this calculator, you would know. Okay, it will tell you clearly what to expect and how to set it as well. Now, if you're using Strukhov's EA, most of the time the default values for multiplier will be 1.5, starting lot is at 0.01, distance at 150, max lot is set to 5. Okay, now most of the time when you get a product, you would have the recommended setting. In this case, the EA, you'll be given a recommended setting, but then most of the time also you might not know how much to spend or how much capital to have in order to sustain or in order to use that kind of setting. Okay, so now assuming we're using these values, okay, and then let's just look at the calculator, what it tells you. Okay, level, it just simply means okay, at which Martingale level, and then as it increases in levels, what would the lot size be, and what would be the distance that it has traveled, how much price per pip. Now this is very important because this would let you know how much drawdown it would have achieved before it goes into the next Martingale level. This is actually the accumulated drawdowns. Okay, so if you were to just look at this, okay, 24.56, so this would be the max drawdown that it will hit before it opens the fifth position in the Martingale series. Okay, so this figure is very important. Now if you only have $100 to trade on, Okay, based on these values, it will tell you that, hey, look, uh, you need to take into account, your risk factor, and then you need to manage your risk well, because if you don't, most likely you blow up your account, and then you'll be questioning why your accounts got blown, even with the recommended settings, even with the recommended, equity size, that kind of thing. Why did it get blown? And then to make it worse, you start thinking that, the EA doesn't work. Well, actually the EA works. It's just that most of the time, we as users, we are not given, or we do not totally understand how a product works, and then we just jump straight into it because we are just impatient. Lack of self-discipline and knowledge. So if you're jumping in blind, going in blind, well, I can assure you that most of the time you get your account blown. So if you have only $100 to play with, and you allow, okay, the default settings also has it at 10 orders as maximum. If you were to allow your EA to open, to a maximum of 10 orders, just like this, your account will have already received margin call once it hits the 6th position. And even if it hits the 5th position, because of your margin percentage is so low, it will not be able to open the 6th position in order for it to recover, because you didn't, it's your fault, okay? You didn't specify that the max lot, you see, is set as 5. You didn't say that, okay, the max lot should be at 0.05, so that you will not try to open 0.08, knowing that it could not handle, or it doesn't have the equity to left to or the equity left to open such, a lot size. Okay, so it would be very wise to based on the DDs that you're looking in this column, to decide for yourself, okay, how much can you afford to, how much your account can handle, and so to set the lot size, the maximum lot size, accordingly. Now, having said that, different instruments, they move differently. And for some of you who have been watching my videos, you know that I only trade gold, and I know how much gold moves and how much it can move. Okay, so when I look at distance, I added distances in because based on the distance, I will know how much value it has moved. So for gold, if at level 1, it will have moved $1.50. Okay, $3, $4.50, $6, and so on and so forth. Okay, now most of you, well, you should know that if you're trading gold, that gold can make a $5 movement without much effort in a day. Gold can make a $30 movement in a day without much effort at all. Now, if you were to only trade using $100 and your distance is so tight, 150, you would not have enough money to sustain a gold movement of $20. Okay, because at $20, it will be somewhere around here, 13. Look how much you need, 1,007. Okay, but you do not have 1,007, and if you didn't intentionally set your multiplier and then your starting lot. No, some people they get a little bit over ambitious because they think that $1,000 is a lot. No, it's actually not a lot. If you just use a 0.01 lot size, you can see how far $1,000 can actually bring you up to a maximum of 10 Martingale level, and you can only survive a $15 gold movement if you're trading gold. Okay, so I hope this will have given you a much clearer picture, how to play with this calculator, because it is a very useful tool, because it gives you, it prepares you what to expect, so that when you see your account is in a certain drawdown figure, you will not be shocked. You will be able to say that I know it's going to happen, and you will be able to tell or able to say to others too that my account can survive or can handle a $30 movement, no problem. 60, no problem, that kind of thing. So a little bit more info. Go has been doing $30 movements, $50 movements, and the legendary $70 movement as well. So if you want to prepare or set your EA well, you should take into consideration that the distance that it moves should accommodate at least a $30 to $50 movement. Because if you didn't take that into account, or you didn't consider that at all, and then you punch numbers in and you just let the EA run, I tell you, you're just being foolish to just go in blind like that. Okay, so most people would also tell you that use a higher distance for gold, because of the amount of movements, the mortality, how it can just spike, that kind of thing. So if you use 500 distance, okay, your account, if you're running $1,000, should be able to survive a $35 movement. Okay, but most of the time we don't just set it so tight. You want to give it room to breathe, so you might want to set it to a max lot of 0.08 for the matter. Now, having said so, if you use a multiplier of 1.5, the recovery will be very slow, meaning to say that if it has if the market is raging, it has very little room for retracement, and you are already on the 7th martingale. Okay, if you are only using a multiplier of 1.5, I'm just giving an example. I'm not gonna punch the exact values in for this to work. I'm just giving you info so that you know what to expect and what could happen. Okay, now if you're on the 7th martingale level, okay, $1,000 account, and you're using 1.5 multiplier, I can tell you for sure that you will need 2/3 of this length for your positions to close in profit, at least 2/3. Okay, so that means you'll be looking at that means if you're looking at the charts, okay, and this is the full length of the positions, 2/3 of it, it will need to retrace that much in order to close in profit. So if you are using these figures alone, so $35 movement, 2/3 of it, let's just take it, for the sake of this video, let's just agree that it will need to retrace $20 in order for your positions to close, 2/3. Now, but if you were to increase the multiplier to something higher, maybe 2, maybe 3, the amount of length it required to retrace will be much, much lesser. 1/3, half, or quarter. So yeah, there you have it. I hope this video has helped you to understand how to use this calculator better. Okay, so that you would not be lost looking at the numbers, that kind of thing, and you would know, okay, what you are seeing and what to expect as well. So yeah, all the best, and it's a must have too, so get it.